but don't worry. All right, let's get started. So sitting up nice and tall when you're ready, you might have the legs crossed, you might take the knees a little bit wider as well. And then just trying to think about your posture. So you might shift the shoulders back slightly so they stack over the hips. And sometimes you know when you're kind of correcting this because you feel like some other muscles have to kick in and switch on. So just check in and notice what switches on. You might feel the lower ribs lift slightly, still keeping the front of the body engaged. Think about the sternum lifting a little, the collarbones as well. And you're almost trying to get the shoulders to roll back and down. So that's going to be our challenge for today. One of the things you can do to help is to have your elbows in nice and close towards your ribs and then palms facing up. This just allows the shoulders to roll back and down. Keeping that nice, strong posture if you can. And then thinking about the breath. So deeper inhales, longer exhales. In and out through the nose if you can. Maybe lifting the chest a little as you inhale. And allowing the shoulders to roll back and down with the exhale. Still engage in that core engagement if you can. So front of the body still working strong. And ideally, we'll try and use this breath throughout our practice today. We'll use the inhale to try and create some length and space in the body, to open the heart a little more. And then we'll use that exhale to go a little deeper to see if we can pull those shoulders down the back, lifting the chest even further. Lovely, well done. Just opening the eyes when you're ready. Lovely. All right, from here, I'm going to stretch the arms all the way out to the side. Keep the palms facing forwards if you can, and then send the hands back as far as they'll go. So you're trying to stretch this space here between the chest and then towards the armpit. So really stretch back. You might feel the shoulder blades squeeze together as well. Then see if you can turn your palms to the sky. So tricep muscles have to kick in those upper arms. See if you can look up as well. So we lift the chest, lift the collarbones even more. Well done. Really fire up through the fingertips if you can. So nice and energized through the arms. Soften or pull the shoulders down the back. So you want to feel those shoulders nice and active if you can. Well done. Hold it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Take your left hand down to the floor and then take that right arm all the way up and over. So keep that one lifted, sending it all the way over. Lovely. If you can, try and squeeze your left elbow in towards your ribs and start to open the chest. So you're going to try to open up a little more. You might look up and over. You might even turn the top palm up as well. Just working that top shoulder back. Lovely. Take a breath. And exhale, just coming back to center, switching it over, other side. Left palm goes up and over, and then reaching over into it. Pressing that left hip down if you can, so you get that deeper stretch. And again, maybe squeeze that right elbow in towards you as you open the chest a little bit more, looking up to the sky. Maybe turn the top palm up as well. So again, it just opens the chest, sends that shoulder back slightly, and giving you a little more space maybe. Lovely. Exhale, coming all the way back to center. All right, let's try and activate a little bit more. So if you can, squeeze your elbows in towards you, as if they're coming in towards the ribs, palms facing up again, so that helps the shoulders roll back and down. And now, keeping the elbows squeezing in, start to try and take your hands out. So they're trying to go back, basically. And you should feel the shoulders kick in and switch on. Try to lift the chest as you do this. So you want those lower ribs lifting, collarbones lifting as well. You might even look up to the sky. You should feel the upper arms kicking in, shoulders kicking in maybe. So elbows squeeze towards the ribs, palms facing up, and then trying to take the thumbs back if you can. Well done. Hold that there for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lovely. Exhale, release, relax. Woo. Have a stretch out. Lovely. From here, coming up onto your hands and knees, and we'll go for a tabletop position. Lovely. So last couple of weeks, we've been turning the fingers out just to help with the shoulders, helps with the wrists as well. And just means that we can keep the chest open and have those shoulders work a little bit harder for us. So fingers spreading out and then fingers turning out as well. So almost like your thumbs are pointing straight towards the front of your mat. From here, just start to send the chest forward, looking forwards, maybe even looking up to the sky. Feel like your chest is coming forwards between the shoulders. And then as you exhale, you can maybe lean back, round the back, and then start to round into that spine, just stretching out through the back. Lovely. This is our cat-cow postures. If you're kind of going to move with the breath, so inhale to look up even or forwards, and exhale, moving back, rounding the back. Lovely. See if you can get a couple more of those in. If you've got that nice, slow, long breath, you're going to be able to move a lot slower with this one. You're going to be able to flow a little bit more. And if the breath's a little quicker, you might find you need to move a little quicker. Well done. Keep it going. Just starting to work into the spine. Wake up the spine a little. Lovely. 3 more. Yeah, last one. Lovely. And then back to center when you're ready. Lovely. From here, drop the elbows down to the floor and then clasp the fingers. From here, if you walk your knees back, so you're trying to get your body parallel with the ground if you can. So it's like a plank position. Shift the weight forward slightly, so you've got shoulders over the elbows. Clasp the fingers or squeeze the palms together, and then slowly try to allow your shoulder blades to come together by letting the chest lower down. Then push back up. So this one's really good for firing up into those shoulders, just giving a little more awareness into the upper back. So shoulder blades pull apart as you push up, and then shoulder blades come towards each other as you lower down. And you might find you can't go all the way down. So you want to be able to keep some control with the core. You can also make this harder by making it a plank position. So just lift the knees up, keep the toes tucked under, and then pushing up and then down. Lovely, well done. Keep it going. Let's try get a few more. Just want to start to feel that heat into the shoulders, into that upper back. Well done. Really good for helping the serratus muscles get a little stronger as well. So those muscles around the ribs that sort of wrap between the ribs on the sides. Well done. Let's do a couple more. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one. And 1. Good work. Well done. From here, you can lower it all the way down to the floor and then taking your hands forwards or elbows. All right, we're going to try a couple of alternative upward facing dogs today, aiming to try and open the chest a little bit more. First one, if you take your hands out in front and have your elbows down, and if you can, have your elbows further forward than the shoulders on each side. Spread the fingers nice and wide so it feels like forearm pose, but elbows in front of the shoulders, so it'll feel harder to lift up. And then think about pulling your lower ribs forwards towards the front of your mat. Fire up the feet, so press the feet into the ground, knees lift, and then send those front ribs forwards. Well done. If you're feeling it in the lower back, tuck the tailbone. And if you can, try to send your shoulders back and down. So it's as if the shoulders are trying to move towards the feet and then pull down towards the hips. See if you can hold that engagement, maybe looking up, lift the chin slightly as well to help. Hold it there for 5, 4, 3, ribs pull forwards, shoulders back and down, 2, and 1. Well done. Exhale, release. Take the hands down by the ribs, elbows squeeze in, shoulder blades squeeze in, tuck the toes, use the knees, and into a tabletop position. Take the hands a little bit wider, so shoulder width apart or even wider. Fingers turning out again, thumbs face forwards, inner elbows face forwards. And then when you're ready, lean back, shift the hips up, knees lift into your first downward facing dog. Well done. Take the feet a little bit wider, pressing down into the hands nice and strong. Well done. Now think about pressing your lower back to the sky, so you get to stretch out the lower back. Well done. Take a breath. Good. See if you can start to straighten the legs. So pulling up through the kneecaps, see if you can engage those thighs, starting to send the heels back, calves back. Maybe the heels lower slightly. You always want that little space between the heels and the floor, so you want about an inch under the heels if you can. If your heels are touching, you've probably gone too short on your stance, so just make it a little bit longer. Press down into the hands, send the shoulders to the hips, and then take another breath. Lovely, well done. Looking forwards, shift forwards, drop the knees, tabletop position. Turn the fingers out if they're not already, and then lean forwards, send your chest forwards, bend the elbows, and come down to the floor. Keep the chest lifted. Lovely. Take the feet nice and wide. We're going to try some alternative up dogs. Take the hands all the way out in front of you and come up onto the fingertips. Take the hands wide as well if you can. Then from there, lift the elbows up so it feels like shoulder blades are coming together. You can stretch the belly at this point as well. So you want those front lower ribs down on the ground to start. Then start to lift by pressing into the fingers. Start to lift your lower ribs off the ground. Doesn't need to be much, just a little. So we're not getting into the lower back. We're trying to target the upper back. And now start to look up. Shoulders might feel a little weird. So you're going to try to send the shoulders down the back towards the hips. Elbows might melt down a little as well. Well done. Keep looking up. Take a breath. And then send those front ribs forwards, 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 and all the way down. Well done. Take a breath. Relax completely. All right, let's try that 2 more times. When you're ready, press into the feet, engage the glutes, and then send your elbows nice and high. Shoulder blades come together. Start to lift by pressing into the fingertips. So lower ribs lift off the ground slightly. Now start to look up. Might feel tight in the shoulders. So now send the shoulders down the back. Feel those shoulder blades kick in. And then elbows softening down. Looking up to the sky, take a breath. Send your lower ribs forwards, 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 and all the way down. Lovely. Take a breath. Always harder to breathe in these ones, so use that bigger breath when you can. All right, let's go again. Elbows high, shoulder blades together. When you're ready, press into the feet, lift the knees, glutes engaged. And then nice and slowly press into the hands, lift the lower ribs. Well done. Looking up to the sky, melt the shoulders down the back, elbows soften, and then send your lower ribs forward, forward, forwards, and all the way down. Lovely. Hands go in by the ribs. Tuck the toes, tabletop position. Neutral spine, and then we'll stretch out the back. So if you're feeling it lower back, which can sometimes happen, if that's your sort of default, if you've got that natural arch in the lower back, it can happen. So we're just going to stretch out. When you're ready, lift the hips, go up and back for your down dog. Well done. Take the feet a little bit wider. Pressing down nice and strong into those hands. Send the shoulders to the hips. Straight arms if you can. And if you can, try and get those upper arms to roll outwards. So send the shoulders away from each other if you can. That's going to help you broaden across the upper back. Now think about creating more length down the sides of the body into the arms. Now press your lower back to the sky. That's going to allow you to stretch out the lower back. Engages the front of the body, using the core a little bit more. And you might even feel the pelvis hollow out as well. So lower back presses to the sky. Now send your heels back, find more length into the legs, the calves, maybe spread the toes. And see if you can pick up through the kneecaps and then send the front of the thighs back as well. Well done. Should be quite a lot of engagement. Take a breath. Good work. Well done. Looking forwards. So we're going to step our left foot forwards. Well done. As you step the left foot forwards, dropping that back knee down and just sinking into the right hip flexor. So top of that right hip flexor just softening down. You can lift the chest slightly or have a little tuck of the tailbone to look after the lower back. Maybe looking up slightly. Lovely. You just want to feel those hips melting into the ground. Good work. Well done. All right, from here, coming up onto your thighs. You can take both arms onto your thigh. Just get used to being up a little bit higher. And then if you can, just start to release your right arm. I'm going to take the palm or the fingers out in front of you, palm faces outwards to the right, and nice and slowly start to lift that arm up. So you get this nice stretch. You might feel it down the right hip as well. And then if you can, see if you can go further back as well. So opening out. It's like a warrior two, but we're kind of keeping our legs where they are just so we can open the hips a little bit more as well. Right arm goes back. And then if you can, squeeze your right elbow in towards your back, so towards your spine. It's going to help you to open out a little bit more. And now imagine your right ribs lifting up to the sky, especially those lower right ribs. Maybe looking up as well. Well done. Squeeze your front foot towards your back knee to take the pressure off the lower back. Lovely. Take a breath here. Well done. Nice and slowly bringing that right hand all the way forwards. Take the hand down and then just straighten out that front leg. You can shift the hips back, shift the hands back as well. Let's get that nice stretch out. Lovely. Maybe engage in the thigh if you can. Say point through the toes on that front left foot. Well done. From here, press that left foot down. Take the hands forwards, and then when you're ready, lift the hip up high, send the foot back. Lovely. Shift forwards, lower the knees. We're going to try to come forwards. So fingers turning out again. That's going to help our elbows stay in. Looking up to the sky, send the chest forwards and then start to lower down. Elbows stay in. Well done. Take the feet nice and wide again. And then if you can, this time take your arms really wide, your hands really wide. I'm just going to spin around so you can see. So we haven't done this one for a little while, but we used to do it all the time. Fingertips out wide and your elbows really wide as well. You start in this position where shoulder blades are together, and then you start to peel the lower ribs off the ground. Shoulders are up nice and close to your ears. And then you start to send your shoulders back and down to the hips. Maybe looking up as well, and see if you can melt those lower ribs forwards. So it's just a variation of that last one that we did. That's a little bit easier to get the hang of, but a little bit stronger into the upper back. Well done. Hold it at the top for 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, release down, take a breath. Relax the chest, the back. Lovely. Let's go again. Hands wide onto the fingertips, elbows to the sky, shoulder blades come together. Then start to peel the lower ribs off the ground. Don't need to come up too high. Shoulders are up high as well. Now start to send the shoulders down the back like you're trying to roll the shoulders down. Think about looking up to the sky and sending your lower ribs forwards, and all the way down. Lovely. Let's go one more. When you're ready, elbows high, shoulder blades together, and now start to peel the lower ribs off the ground. Well done. Send those shoulders down the back, roll them back and down, elbows drop down as well, looking up, and again send your ribs forwards, and all the way down. Well done. Hands go in by the ribs, fingers turn out, tuck your toes, tabletop position. Take a breath. Neutral spine, downward facing dog. When you're ready. Well done. So there'll be a temptation to go into something like child's pose because you'll want to stretch out the muscles in the lower back. But if you can, just go to a neutral spine first, like tabletop or down dog. And then if you really activate your down dog, you should be able to get that stretch into the lower back a little bit more than you might in child's pose. We will try and get to child's pose at the end, but just trying to go open the chest so it feels like a deep back bend into the upper part of the back, and then try to neutralize the spine just with a tabletop or a down dog. Well done. Think about that engagement into your downward facing dog. I'm going to switch over. We'll do our other side. Lovely. Well done. When you're ready, send your right foot forwards. Lovely. Then dropping the back knee down to the floor, just lowering into that left hip. And you can always shuffle the front foot further forwards or take your back knee further back. Just want to feel like it's quite a stretch for that, at top of that left thigh. Depends how tight you are in the hips. Well done. Melting into it. Nice deep breath. Well done. We'll try and get that nice open twist on this side now. So when you're ready, you're going to come back up onto your right thigh. You can rest your right elbow down. And then nice and slowly send your left hand out in front. As you do, fingertips forward, palm faces out to the left. So shoulders currently rolling in. We're going to try to roll it back and down by opening out. So nice and slowly start to take the hand up. You might even start to follow the hand with your gaze and then starting to take it back. Checking in with those hips as well. Turn the palm to the sky. So now your shoulders are rolling down the back. Then if you can, you're going to squeeze in with your left elbow. Squeeze the front foot to the back knee just to take the pressure off the lower back. And then think about those left front ribs reaching up to the sky. Well done. Well done. Take 2 breaths here. Lovely. Nice and deep. Well done. Nice and slowly. Releasing that left hand forwards. Take your time. Left hand to the floor, right hand to the floor, and then just slowly shift back. Get a nice stretch out through the front leg. Well done. Up to you how much you go into this one. You might just be stretching out the lower back slightly. Still keeping that core engaged if you can, front of the body. Well done. Nice and slowly, press the right foot forwards, reach your hands further forwards, pick up the hips, and then take that right foot back. Shift forwards, shoulders over the wrists, drop the knees. Turn the fingers out so the elbows then come in, and then shift your chest forwards, and then come down to the floor. Well done. Take the feet nice and wide. We're going to try our forearm pose again, so take the elbows down. If you want to, you can actually bring your elbows closer towards you now, so we're starting to open the chest more. So if you prefer, if you're happy with the one that we started with, have the elbows in front of the shoulders, but if you want to go a little bit further, get the elbows underneath the shoulders or a little bit closer. But do watch out with your lower back if you know you need to. Press into the feet and engage the glutes. And you might even push your pubic bone into the ground. So that's going to help protect your lower back. If you've got strong glutes, that will also help protect your lower back. Then press the hands into the ground and just gently pull your elbows towards your hips. So you start to switch on some activation, glutes, forearms, wrists. Well done. Hold it there. Now, if you can, start to send your front ribs forwards. So that's where we're trying to open up the front of the body into that chest. Feels like the shoulder blades starting to come towards each other, maybe. Try to feel like the shoulders are rolling down the back. Maybe looking up to help you. Keep pressing the pubic bone down into the ground. Feel the glutes strong, knees lifted, feet pressing down. Lovely. See if you can hold this one here. Shoulders pull to the hips, so nice and active. For 5, looking up. 4, maybe even lifting the chin a little bit more. 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Exhale, release. That's the tough one. Hands go down by the ribs. Tuck the toes, tabletop position. Take a breath in your tabletop. It's always harder to breathe in these deeper back bends because the chest is already expanded, so it's harder to take that deeper inhale. All right, when you're ready, downward facing dog, stretch out. Lovely, lower back presses to the sky. Nice, straight, strong legs. Stretching out on the sides of the body. Pressing into those hands. Good, one more. Excellent, well done. Nice and slowly drop the knees to the floor. And if you can, just take the knees a little bit closer towards each other and the feet a little bit closer as well. We're going to try to stretch the tops of the feet here. So keep the toes tucked under and then shift your weight back. So you're coming onto your heels. See how it feels? You might need to keep your hands further forwards, or you might be able to come up and sit right onto the heels. So we'll try to do this fairly quickly so that you don't feel it too much. It is quite a tough one. If it's really horrible with the feet and you feel like you can't do anything else, then just release and turn the tops of your feet over so you're on the tops of the feet instead. But up to you. Some people do this as a yin pose and hold it for 5 minutes, but it's Quite a tough one. All right, let's work here. So taking the hands out in front of you, clasp the fingers, and then just try to get the hands to go forwards. All right, you don't need to straighten the arms just yet. And now slightly bend the elbows, palms are forwards, and start to take the hands up. As you do, start to try and send your chest forwards, your elbows back. Now look up to the sky and see if you can send the hands further back. Elbows might still be bent. Well done. Little tuck of the tailbone, so the front of the body activates, lower back's protected. And then see if you can take those hands up and further back. It's quite a tough one for the shoulders as well. Keep looking up, lift the chin. Lovely. Hold it there for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Exhale, release the hands and release the feet. Woo. That's a tough one for the tops of the feet. Oh, bottoms of the feet. All right, next one to do. We're going to go slightly different with this next one. We'll stay on the tops of the feet, so we stretch out the other way. Stay on the knees, but if you're not a fan of doing this with the knees, just seated is fine. And then for this next one, you're going to clasp the hands behind you. And with your clasp, just to see if you can switch it up. So there'll be a way that you always clasp the fingers. Try to mix it up the other way. And now take the hands up as high as they'll go. Elbows out to the side. Lean forward slightly and start to take the hands up that little bit higher. So you might start to straighten the elbows or straighten the arms. And now start to come up. And as you come up, keep the hands lifted and send the hands back. Then slowly start to lift the chest, lift the ribs, maybe looking up to the sky. Well done. Once you get to your furthest point, try to hold it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and 1. Well done. Exhale, bend the elbows, releasing down, and take a breath. Lovely. All right, let's keep moving. We're going to take the hands forwards again. Let's practice coming forwards. If you can, walk your knees back slightly. It's going to make it a little more challenging. Keep the feet lifted as well. And then send the chest forward of the shoulders. Hips lower slightly, but not completely. So keep the hips lifted again. So look after the lower back. And then when you're ready, leaning forwards, elbows bend, and lower down to the floor. Well done. Take the feet nice and wide. Lovely. Let's go for that. Let's go for an alternative up dog. So keep the hands in nice and low. You almost want them by your ribs if you can. Then squeeze your elbows towards each other. Chest starts to lift. Shoulders go down the back and you might lift a little bit more. Feet fired up, knees fired up. So thighs are, glutes engaged, and then looking up towards the ceiling. Lift the chin as well. Shoulders actively pull down towards your hips. Hold it there for 5. Keep breathing. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Exhale, release. Good. Tuck the toes. Down facing dog. Do tabletop first if you need to. Well done. Down dog. Good work. All right, with your feet coming together, I'm going to try to open out and get into the chest a little bit. If you can, shorten your down dog. So bring your feet in maybe an inch or 2, feet together. And then when you're ready, take your left foot up to the sky. As you do, really stretch it up. So you're almost trying to arch your back, get into the chest a little bit more. To take the foot up high, you might be able to go for a straight leg. Maybe bottom leg is straight as well. And then slowly bend your top knee. So bend the left knee and start to try and send that heel over to the right. Well done. Maybe starting to look underneath your left arm and see if you can send the chest through as well. So you're getting this stretch down the left-hand side. Maybe flex the left foot. Maybe tuck under with the tailbone and just get that deeper stretch. Well done. Quite a challenging one. Hold it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Nice and slowly bring that left foot down. Good. Drop the knees, tabletop position. Lean the chest forwards. Look forwards. Well done. Keep the feet together, knees together. Lifting back up, downward facing dog. Press the lower back to the sky. Feet together, that shorter stance. When you're ready, send that right foot up to the sky. Maybe go for a straight leg. Well done. Do what you can on this one. And then when you're ready, you want to bend that right knee. Maybe take the foot over towards the left. Might be able to look underneath your right arm this time. Nice. Think about getting that side stretch. A little tuck under with the tailbone. Lovely. Hold it there for 5. Pressing the chest through. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Nice and slowly bring that right foot down. Good work. Shift forwards, tabletop position. Lift the knees. Look forwards, chest forwards, lower to the ground. Feet nice and wide. Squeeze the elbows in. Lift the chest, look up, lift the chin as well. Glutes engaged. Take a breath and pull the shoulders to the hips. So nice and active. Good. Exhale, release. Tuck the toes. Downward facing dog. Well done. We've done a lot of down dogs today. Press that lower back to the sky. Lots really good for building upper body strength. Working those shoulders. Well done. All right, from here we'll come through to seated. We're going to have a go at doing some twists, which are always really good to help open the chest. And if you've got something to sit on, that would be really handy. So rectangular blocks are quite good, or these brick blocks. You can put them on your Christmas list if you've not got them already. The harder ones, or like this is like a cork one, are a little bit better if you're using it for your wrists. But you can get other ones. And then if you have got something to sit on it. But if not, don't worry, you can still do this. Then have your feet out in front, feet are hip width apart, and then bring your left foot in towards your right glute. Slide your left knee to the center. And then when you're ready, bring your right foot in nice and close. Then start to hug in with your left elbow. And all the block will do is allow you to lean forward slightly if you need it. Some people need a little bit of a lift. And then try to sit up straight. And when I say straight, we're actually eventually going to get a little bit of an arch into the lower back. So we're not rounding, we're trying to lift a little. Hug in with your left elbow, so keep that right knee in. And then start to send the chest towards the right, trying to bring these left ribs through. Almost like you're trying to bring your left ribs to your right thigh if you can. So take a couple of breaths to hold there. Soften the shoulders down. And then we're going to try to focus on this right side of the chest. All right, when you're ready, take the right arm back behind you. The block just allows you to sit up without having that right hand down. Take your right arm back behind you and see if you can take it further back. So getting that stretch across the chest. And this will kind of you'll be able to get a feel for how tight your chest is. All right, then from there, start to bend your elbow and squeeze your elbow in towards your spine. So this is where it gets tricky. Now, turn your palm to the sky, and that'll hopefully get that shoulder rolling back and down. Then start to look up, maybe lift the chin, send the head back slightly as well. And then hold it here for 5. Keep breathing through. Good. 4. 3, try to go a little bit further back with the right hand, that right elbow squeezing in. 2, and 1, well done. Exhale, release, relax. Quite a tough one. All right, let's switch sides. So this time we're going to twist over to the left. So feet out in front, right foot tucks underneath towards your left glute, right knee down, and then bring that left foot in. Then hugging in with your right arm or elbow, and just slowly start to turn the chest to start with. Think about those right front ribs trying to come through towards your left thigh. And the more you can close this gap, the more you can start to go for things like binds and things like that. So try to really twist through. Also really good for your internal organs as well. Good for your digestive system twists. Good for a healthy spine as well. All right, from here, just starting to lift up, sit a little taller. Good. And then nice and slowly send that arm back. Well done. Take it as far back as you can. You might even look back, see if that helps you as well. Keep that right knee pulling in. And then nice and slowly bend that elbow. So you're squeezing it in, feel that left shoulder blade squeeze in. Turn the palm so it's up. It's going to make it a lot harder. And then see if you can just reach around. Maybe looking up, lift the chest. You want that left shoulder rolling back and down or trying to. Lovely. Hold it there for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Exhale, release, relax. Whew, well done. All right, from here, we're going to try to finish off with a really nice back bend. It's called Wild Thing. I think we did do it not so long ago, but it's quite a nice one to do. But it's all to do with that chest opening and that little bending of the elbows, which we've just done. So we'll do a little bit more with that. Just taking the hands forwards. Let's try and get a stretch out. Tabletop position, tuck the toes, push up and back, downward facing dog. Lower back presses to the sky again. Take the feet wider if you need to. Spread the toes. Lovely. Nice deep breath. Good work. Well done. From here, come back through to seated. We'll have a little go at doing Wild Thing. Lovely. All right, so I'll show you from the side and then I'll show you sort of from the back so you can see what's happening with the arm and the elbow. So for this one, if you bend your left knee, you're going to try to shift your weight to the outside of your right leg. So you want to be right on the outside of your right hip, on the outside of your right foot. You can bend your right knee to help you as well. And then walk your left foot out a little so you've got a good distance between the feet. So you're on the outside. Then your right hand is going back and you want to feel like you have to lean back into it slightly. Fingertips facing back as well. And then with the elbow, this is where it gets a little bit tricky. You're trying to lift the chest. So send your right ribs up to the sky. Now bend your right elbow. It's going to feel like it's trying to squeeze in towards your lower back or towards your back of your right ribs. So it's quite a tricky one. I'll just show you from here. See if you can see from here. So I'm in this position, got the hand back, not just keeping a straight arm, but you can sort of do this with your elbow. So I'm going to try to lift the right ribs. So I've got some space and now squeeze the elbow in. So it's coming in towards my back and then I can start to try and lift from there. So have a little go. You can do this nice and slowly if you've not done it before. Take your time, but it's quite a technique if you get that right with the shoulder and the elbow. When you're ready, you're going to press into the feet to help you start to lift up. And then maybe get that lift a little bit more. So those right ribs lift into the sky. You might be able to look up to the sky and then maybe send that left hand back. Maybe looking back as well if you've got a back wall. Strong into the feet. You might straighten the right leg, engage the right glute. But just do as much as you can. Stay up as long as you can. Or come down whenever you're ready. And just come down slowly when you're ready. Nice. Well done. You don't need to stay up too long with these because you are only balancing on one arm. So if you're not used to it or it feels a little shaky, just go up and then come back down. That's fine. Good. All right, let's try the other side. So with this one, you're going to get onto the outside edge of the left hip, outside edge of the left foot. Bear in mind, your left side might not be your dominant arm, so it might feel a little shaky on this side, so just check in. Right foot's going away slightly, keep the knee bent. And then again, fingertips go back and try to roll the shoulder back by lifting your left ribs to the sky. It's going to help you open up, do a little bit of prep work first, and then squeeze that left elbow in towards the back of the ribs, back of the chest. When you're ready, pressing down, lifting up, send the chest high, send that top arm back maybe straighten the left leg, engage the left glutes. Yeah, left glute even. There's only one glute on that left side. Well done. Lift the hips, lift the pelvis, and then see if you can send those left ribs to the sky as well. Take a breath. Good work. Well done. Exhale. Coming back down when you're ready. Yeah, good work. Well done. Lovely. All right, let's get a stretch out here. We'll try a little bit of an inversion as well. Hands go forwards, walk your knees back. So quite a long tabletop. Again, send the chest forward, look forwards as well to help you. Hips drop slightly, but not all the way. And then elbows in, lower into the floor. Feet go nice and wide. And this time, lift the ribs, send them forward, send the hands back behind you, clasp your fingers, and see if you can go nice and high with the hands and lift the chest and send the hands or fingers towards your toes. Looking up to the sky, take a breath. Well done. Exhale, releasing down. Hands go by the ribs, fingers turn out, tuck the toes. Tabletop position, take a breath. Good work. Downward facing dog. Good work. Well done. We're going to finish off with an inversion. So just trying to take the feet a little bit higher than the head and the heart. And then we'll go into our Shavasana at the end. So for this, I'm going to show you forearm pose. It's up to you if you want to have a go at this. If you prefer to just do feet up the wall or shoulder stand, you can do. So forearm pose is a little tricky in that your shoulder blades slightly come towards each other, whereas in headstand and handstand, we're trying to broaden across the upper back. So don't necessarily need to go up, but I'll just try and give you some tips for it. Hands go flat on the floor, and then just pull your elbows to your knees and feel your shoulders switch on. All right, now soften the shoulder blades slightly. We want that little dip in, but only ever so slightly, ever so subtle. And then we try to keep some strength here. So press into the elbows, and then see if you can lift your knees off the ground. Keep hold of that there. And then if you can lift the knees, try to send the hips up as well. So looking towards the feet is going to allow your upper back to round a little bit more. But if you look forwards, you'll lift your chest, which is what we've been trying to do. And you'll feel like your upper back is having to do a lot more work. Then walk your feet in a little bit more and keep looking forwards towards those thumbs. Well done. Hold it there. It should be quite challenging. For 5, 4, press the elbows into the ground. 3, keep looking forwards. 2, and 1. Well done. Nice and slowly drop the knees, turn the tops of the feet over, and sink back and down onto the heels for a well-deserved child's pose. Finally, child's pose. So you can sink back and down. Those sit bones just coming down towards the heels. And if you want to feel it a little bit more, just to stretch out the lower back, you can almost round your lower back, pull the belly to the back of the spine, send that lower back backwards again. Just getting that nice lower back stretch. Lovely, just getting a nice stretch out here, or just completely relaxing. If you want to completely relax, you might drop the forehead to the floor and then take the arms all the way back. And just completely sink into it. Well done, everyone. So tough one today. If you want to, you can go into a down dog from here and then come through to seated and then onto your back for Shavasana. If you prefer to just go straight onto your back, then that's absolutely fine. And then when you're coming onto your back, you're going to keep the feet nice and wide. You might have a little tuck under the tailbone. And then with the shoulders, almost feel like the bottom of the shoulder blades are trying to come towards the hips. Then send your arms out a little bit wider, palms facing up, elbows in. That allows the chest to stay nice and open. And then tucking the chin slightly, closing the eyes. And once you feel like you're in position, just trying to relax the body. And we can do this by using the breath. So I'll take a nice big deep breath in. Big long exhale out. Good, big inhale. Long exhale. Good, one more nice big inhale. Long exhale. Well done, and then just letting go of the breath. Perhaps noticing how the body has relaxed with the breath. And that deeper, longer breath sometimes just allows the heart rate to slow down, allows the nervous system to calm a little. And that ultimately helps the body to relax further, deeper. As you let go of the feet, the ankles, the knees and the calves, and your thighs to relax. Feeling your pelvis, your hips nice and open, nice and heavy. So you relax the lower back, mid back, upper back. Allow the shoulders, back of the head, the arms, the elbows to completely relax, feel heavy, and sink into the earth. As you let go of the breath, let go of the body, and let go of the mind. And nice and slowly, just bring a little awareness back to the breath and the body. That deep breath in, big sigh out. And just feeling some movement, maybe fingers, toes, maybe wrists, ankles. Yeah, maybe enjoying a nice big stretch up and over. Or you might even feel pulling the knees into the chest and enjoying a little stretch of the lower back. Might feel quite good after our back bends today, our chest opening. And nice and slowly, just moving over to one side. Taking a deep breath here. And when you're ready, just starting to make your way back up to seated. And once you're back to seated, you might just keep the head low, shoulders nice and soft. Maybe taking the palms towards each other, towards the chest, and then maybe lift the chest a little. And just take a moment to check in with your body, check in with your mind, notice how you feel. Well done, everybody. Namaste. Thank you very much. Good work. Well done. Hope you enjoyed that. You should feel like you can walk around like a ballet dancer all day now. Good posture. Just having those shoulders roll back and down, especially if you've done a lot of desk work this morning, this kind of happens because the chest just gets really tight. So more of that helps. Well done. Thanks very much. I shall see you all soon, maybe next week. See you later.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
Bye. No worries.